I think it's a great idea. You know, a lot of us, we're not taught hardly anything in school on leadership. We're taught to follow. So for me, this was a big part of my personal development, and I gained it through reading, Mark, reading great books. And you know, you and I are both avid readers, and we've got one of the best reading resources back in our e-suite with Success on Demand. So I recommend that you start there. And if you're not a reader, be a listener. My car is full of CDs, and I know that's old school, but I still pop those in, and I listen to those everywhere I go. And you know, I travel with you, Mike. You're always listening to something, and we're growing every single day.
Well, I love the quote: "When you're green, you're growing. When you're right, you're growing." And I think that we're always growing as leaders. And I think if you look around this room, many of you, you're questioning yourself right now. You're going, "I'm a leader?" You know. You need to go back and listen to Denise's talk and the Carla's talk. It's that self-talk that we do. And, you know, when I started this profession almost 15 years ago now, and I can't believe it's been that long, you know, the first book that I read was The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And that was just a fantastic book. It's big letters. You know, so somebody like me, it's like you get there real quick, my attention span, and, you know, diving into personal development, that Success on Demand in the back office is priceless. You know, and then you listen to people like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar. They passed now, but you know, the wisdom of the ages, it just it remains solid. I think everybody in here, you become an entrepreneur by joining the party, and then you can develop as a leader. There are definitely some natural born leaders, but you develop that, you know, constant action and constant improvement.
I think in the world today, people don't stand for anything, and I'm excited that here at It Works, we've been innovators, and we do it our way. You know, we wear our colors, we wear our flag, and we're up here as innovators, and I want to continue that into leadership. So I'm going to ask you guys a few questions, and, you know, if they're sitting there right now, and they're saying, okay, I like this, but you're talking leader, what is it? How is it? What if them as leaders, what would you tell them to start building their business, what they should be focused on, and how, you know, we use this quote, and I love it. Anyone can complicate things. It takes a genius to simplify. So how, as us as leaders, can we simplify this business and lead others?
Well, steps to success. You've heard every leader speak of that. And again, I spoke of it earlier today. It's so simple, we miss it. Mike and I were traveling together, and I looked at him and I said, I thank Mike for the first time. I really truly believe that the reason for our growth is our leadership grasped those 3 steps, and they put them in play, and they realized that every month is a brand new month. And if they want to lead their team properly, then they need to be completing those 3 steps personally. So they recommit each month with step 1. Step 2, they're gathering 4 new loyal customers. Yes, our leadership is doing that. And then step 3, they're bringing in new blood every single month. How could they expect you to do that if they're not doing that themselves? And it gives them a goal each month to strive for, because sometimes we get lost in helping everyone else, but we know we still have to be leading by bringing in new blood, and that is bringing in new customers and new distributors.
You know, so many people, a lot of times and I'm not picking on the VIP section here, so don't take it this way. I know you guys won't, but a title doesn't make you a leader. Leading makes you a leader, right? To get here, you had to do the actions that got you. You became a triple diamond before you were a triple diamond. You got those characteristics. You became a presidential before you were presidential. You became that ambassador. You worked on yourself enough to be able to get there. There's many of you, you're already black diamond. You just don't have that title. You've got that mentality. You've got that urgency. You've got that commitment. You've got that action. I think so many times people are out there and they go, how do I become a leader? Well, action, lead by example. The best, I love what Candy said, you know, she's a stalker, right? The best way you can get other people to follow up. The best way you can get your team to blitz, go blitz. The best way you can get your team to buy into the party pad, use the party pad. The best way you can get your team to boot camp, come to boot camp. The best way you get your team to get promoted yourself. You know, I love Amber Church talked about her story up here. Look, it's an awesome story. And she said what? She was going and all of a sudden, she missed a lot of talking about, right? And she stepped back. And her people yet weren't at the point, she wasn't yet at the point where they could do that. Their leadership capabilities weren't quite there yet. And she stepped back, and then they were like, well, Amber's ahead of us, we're going to step back. But then when she stepped up, look what happened. Everybody stepped up. And I think we've got to lead by example and focus on those daily activities that we know are proven in this business.
And another thing I'd like to add to that, you know, when someone comes up to me and says, my business isn't growing, it's not going in the direction that I want, my question to you is, when is the last time you wrapped somebody? Last night came at dinner, said, with the income that she is making, and I'm telling you, it is extreme, extreme. Just the other day, she wrapped 30 people at a wrap party. And she said, the reason that I did that is because, one, I'm launching a new distributor, but that's where relationships are built. It's built in that wrap room. It's built by applying that product. There is not a day that goes by that you should not be focused on just that one simple goal, and that is getting the product on someone, and then they either say, yes, I want more, or no, thank you. It's as simple as that.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. We're bringing in over 1,000 UT members a day. That's a lot of people that come into our company. You know, in the beginning, man, we knew every one of them, or we call them. And, you know, we said the It Works way. They knew what it was because we met them. But today we can't. And so we have to rely on our leadership and the layering of that leadership that we're modeling and teaching people what is the It Works way. I don't want it to be 3 words. I want it to be something. And we've got a lot of people pioneering the road here. I think of Rusty and I think of our leadership councils that have pioneered this before. So what would we tell people? We're sponsoring someone new. How do we get them started? How do we lead them?
Well, I love to give people tasks. You know, I want to know how serious they are, Mark. And so I'll give them tasks.